this go round, I actually have a mic, so maybe that's not a good thing. I want to thank the lovely lady in the salon here. When I got here, what little hair I have was a little scraggly, and so Mom, in her magic, worked out an appointment early this morning. Is it loud enough? Is it loud enough? And so she made me look a little bit more presentable. I told her when I get back to Houston, I need to find someone who can do what she does. So what I find every time I come here is that the plethora of lovely, generous, kind people that my mother knows, I not for one second ever worry about the safety of my mother. This is a beautiful, beautiful place for her to be, and all of you here make that safety for her, and I love you for that. Many people ask me about music. I'm a math professor. I had to find some way to balance the math and the music. That was not easy to do, but through private lessons, music study, AGO organist certifications and things of that nature, and wonderful churches in the states of North Carolina and Texas, I've been able to maintain my musicianship while actually teaching college level mathematics. The beauty of that is that they are both the same. They use the same parts of the brain. And the passion that I have for the math is the same that I have for the music. There is absolutely no difference. I tell my students, I practice, I expect you to practice. And it's that simple. There's nothing magical about doing anything. If you work at it, you can get a lot better. And the best compliment people ever pay me is if they heard me play 15 years ago and they hear me today, they say, well, you've grown musically. And what they mean is that you're more a part of the music. When you're young, you just play the notes. But as you get older, you learn how to make music. And before I begin, there's one reason I do music, and it's my mom. Okay? Let me be completely honest about that. I don't even look forward to the day when I won't be able to come here and see my mom, because she is my best friend. And so when that horrible day does come, these fingers and these feet will be there to glorify the wonderful life that she has had. And if I am anything today, it's because of my mom. Absolutely. Okay, well, it's always interesting when I put these things together. Last year, Mom said, well, why don't you play for me? And I thought I'd play for 10 people, and we had a full room, so it's the same now. Because I'm an organist, primarily, I love Baroque music, so you're going to get a portion of that. But I'm also going to play some pieces, one romantic piece, and some more popular pieces that have been requested of me at weddings. Every time a young lady gets married, there's always a piece that her best friend can't play. And I said, well, I don't know if I can play it. Maybe I can't play it either. And she said, well, just look at this and see if you think it would be appropriate. And my comment to that is that there is no inappropriate music at a service that praises God, okay? That just does not happen. I've grown up with so many rules and regulations about music. Music speaks to everyone. And the content of music is just beauty. That's all it is. So I'm going to start with a piece that I think every one of you know. It's the Johann Pachelbel Canon in D. There are numerous presentations of this piece. It's amazing that just with a few chord progressions, he managed to create a masterpiece that will live forever, long after I'm gone. But this particular arranger is Dan Coates, and he has arranged many, many beautiful pieces. So I will start with that, and I hope you enjoy it. And I really like this. I have reserved some pieces that will be a little bit more boisterous than that, but they're all in good taste. I hope. I was wondering whether or not to do this piece. I guess this was 15 years ago. A young lady that I knew when I played at a Lutheran church in College Station, Texas. That's where I went to grad school for mathematics. She said, I love the movie Forrest Gump. I love the Feather Song. That's what I'm talking about. She was the one that said, my friend can't play the piece. I said, I don't know. These movie music pieces can be very complicated. You've got some huge orchestra doing everything, and then of course they condense it to the piano or the organ, and it's like I need 5 hands and 5 sets of feet. So she said, I want this. You decide what you want to do with it. And so I actually found it when I was speaking to my mom. I didn't tell her this, but I went searching for this piece because it was covered up with a bunch of math books and a lot of dust. So I did find it. And I even told my brother about this. He says, oh, Ron, well, not Ron, Ronnie. I'm not Ron to my sister nor my brother. Ronnie, that'll be a good piece. And I know that one, so that's even better. My brother is actually a very fine musician. He has excellent rhythm. He was a great drummer when he was a younger person, but he gave it up for his love of football, and that's fine. But he has an appreciation for music, and I certainly appreciate my brother. So this is the Feather Song from the movie Forrest Gump. And the composer, Alan Silvestri, I think he will go down as one of the greatest movie composers ever. There are so many. And please do not discount the artistry of these individuals. Not everybody can be J.S. Bach, but you know, there are some good ones. see the little feather floating. I think when I read a good book or I think of movies like that, the human struggle to be terrific is, microphone. I'm so sorry. When I think about this music, you think about your own personal journey and your own struggle. I tell my students all the time, what do? We make so many mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes. The mistakes make us better. That's how, I tell my students, I said, I don't think I'm very smart. I said, I don't know everything. I'm learning something every day. And my colleagues say, well, you're supposed to tell them how smart you are. I said, no. I'm learning just like my students. And so the beauty of learning every day in music and mathematics is what gives me a reason to get out of bed in the morning. And that's the blessing that I have. That's an amazing thing. So thank you for allowing me to do a little bit of the movie music. Next year, maybe I'll do Moon River. And I'm serious. There's nothing better than Pandora when you can hear all the music in the world. You get tired of a certain genre, you just click it and boom, you've got great music. The next piece is romantic. Debussy, and that's how you pronounce it if you're in French. And it's not Debussy, it's Debussy. And his suite Bergamasque was actually 4 dances. And the most popular, Clair de Lune, literally Light of the Moon. That was not the original title. But that's okay because that's how we know it. And the beauty of Debussy is that he painted beautifully harmonically like J.S. Bach, but it was different. Bach's harmonies have never been duplicated. His counterpoint is the most magnificent that exists. But the Impressionists were able to pull colors out of the music. That was the first time I saw color in music. When you play Bach, you always know when the organ's out of tune because his music would push to the limits any tuning that had been done. But what's beautiful about the Clair de Lune is basically the harmonies and just the illusion of grandeur in a piece that really is very sad, but has, like the Feather Song, has its moments of joy. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, the being a church organist, I'm presently organist at First Presbyterian in Pasadena, Texas. I work with a marvelous choral director, Marilyn Wilkins, who studied at North Texas. And when you go to Texas, there are actually three schools of music that everyone thinks are just the best, but she's told me many times that North Texas has the best music. And I said, it's fine. She's a marvelous musician. And I've told my mom many times she understands me completely because her late husband was an organist. And so I think I found the perfect position. When I'm practicing, she doesn't bother me, which I appreciate. I mean, I guess she could, but it's just, in doing that, you are made aware of all the beautiful music that so many contemporary musicians compose for the church. There are two that I'm going to be using today. The first is Mary McDonald. The second is Joseph Martin. What's nice about their piano parts or organ parts is that they stand alone as a beautiful solo. I always tell the choir, I said, you can just lay out on this one. I said, just or just don't have to worry about overdoing it, and Marilyn always laughs at me. But let's look at this next one. The title is "Oh Love That Will Not Let Me Go." And basically, it utilizes parallel sixths. We all know the Albert Hay Mallet Lord's Prayer. I think he gave us all the right to use parallel sixths. And if he ever wrote anything else in his life, it didn't matter because that piece is simply beautiful. And I used it last year. I won't use it this year, but maybe I'll bring it back for next year. So Mary McDonald, "Oh Love That Will Not Let Me Go." She definitely has a gift for composition and harmony. One of the ladies in the office, when I was rehearsing this, said, "That sounds like motion picture music. Is the president coming in?" I said, "No, it's Mary McDonald." We are so blessed with so many talented individuals in our society. There's so much beauty there. Marilyn always looks over at me and says, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I'm just admiring this music. That's what's wrong with me." And of course she giggles. She knows what it is. She just wants me to say it. Okay, so now we're into the Baroque phase, and that's okay because, again, the Baroque music is beautiful. This next piece, I actually do not play with a sustaining pedal until the very end because I don't have a pedal board. Bach revered the music of Dietrich Buxtehude. And Bach is very smart. He, without doubt, is the greatest composer who ever lived, and there are many greats. There's Beethoven, there's Brahms, there's Bruckner, there's Mahler, but Bach stands above all of them. And even all of the music that he composed did not survive. And what we have is an enormity of music that one person composed. It is a feat that is truly a divine gift. It's like Srizivana Ramanujan. He always said, if I have any ability in math, it's the divine gift that I've been given. I believe in that. Once we work with something that we love to do, we get pretty good at it. And that's when we know we're doing the right thing and we're not really working. And when we get paid, it's like, wow, isn't this the greatest thing ever? Oh, I get paid to do this and I actually love to do it. I'm the last one to leave campus working on proofs. Then I go to the church and practice, and I'm thinking, this is a lovely way to live. Okay? So this next piece is a fugue in C major by Dietrich Buxtehude. Bach loved this piece so much, he actually composed the Jig Fugue based on this. But everyone always said, Bach, you shouldn't have done that. Well, he was smart. Bach is a smart person. He said, well, I'm going to take this and go with it. But I have the complete works of J.S. Bach and Dietrich Buxtehude, and the church gets tired of it. So I occasionally will venture into other things. I like the Diane Bish arrangements. The great organist Diane Bish. She's arranged so many beautiful hymns. And there's Brookhart. Michael Brookhart is a great organist. I play a lot of his things, and he's got huge hands. And of course, Paul Mons, the Lutheran organist. There's some great stuff out there, and there's even a guy named, it'll come to me later, but I'll mention him. They're all, getting old, you have all these memory lapses. Boy, I wonder why that happens. But, yes, of course. So like I say, I'll start this. This will be without sustaining pedals, so maybe I'm playing an organ or a harpsichord, but I will use it at the very end. Again, this is Fugue in C major. a pipe organ is that with the mutations and the mixtures and the reeds, you could take 10 of these pianos together and create a sound that fills the church. But as I heard a piano tuner say one time, if you've got a good piano, anything sounds good, and it's true. Okay, the next piece is by Bach. It's based on a chorale, O Gott, du frommer Gott. The partita is in his fifth volume, the Orgelbuchlein, the little organ book. And appended at the end are all these great partitas, and there's a beautiful improvisation on In Dulci Jubilo, which I play when I can. It's a masterwork. This particular piece sounds really nifty on the piano, and it's okay that you don't hear the chorale anymore. It's just a nice piece of music. I mean, let's say the more contemporary improvisations on chorales, usually it's easier to hear them, but Bach was such a genius. He would weave it in places that not even musicians could figure out about it. So this is the ninth partita, the final piece of this improvisation on O Gott, du frommer Gott. Now it's over. One thing about Bach, and I will get used to this. One thing about Bach is that he doesn't really leave room to improvise. He writes all the notes that he wants, and he just says, just play the right note at the right time. What could be easier? And yeah, I agree with him. The one thing that I enjoy working on, and I've had basically like 5 piano students in my life, and one is now a graphic artist. One decided he really didn't like piano because his parents made him do it. One, Ian Scarf, is now a concert pianist, and I finally, once Ian came along, I just decided I'm only going to teach students who want to learn, who are interested in music, and so after that, it kind of died out. A lot of people ask me, they say, I know you're busy, so you don't have time to teach, but I teach math, so that's what I have to make the time for. The masterpieces of Bach are innumerable, but the Well-Tempered Clavier, books 1 and 2, were basically written as he became more familiar with the new invention called the pianoforte. And these were written for everyone to learn music. Not except as if you were very, very versed in music and maybe had a lot of talent. I don't know. Bach's idea of fluidity in music meant that you were a music major pretty much. So this next piece is a prelude and fugue. So there'll be a prelude, a little pause, and then a fugue. And I will use the sustaining pedal some on the fugue. This is from the book 1. It's the prelude and fugue in A-flat major. I think you will enjoy it. It is truly a marvelous work. J.S. Bach, Prelude. This is actually number 17, BWV 862, J.S. Bach. that is what is called a four-part fugue. The Saint Anne Prelude and Fugue, there's a portion in the fugue that's 5 parts. I think sometimes Bach would probably want to write even more parts, but then he thought, well, these are just humans and they can only do so much. If you ever want to improve your technique, scales are great, but I go to the well-tempered clavier, hard to say. I got my teeth straightened, and now I can't speak. It was easier to speak when they were crooked. That's okay. It's Invisalign. It makes for a good smile. But the work, every time you play Bach, you find something new. You find something that you just didn't hear before. And it's amazing. Now, we're getting to the end of the program, and we're going to do a piece by Joseph Martin that is basically a showcase of hymns that you grew up singing. If you want to hum along, you can. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's like the Mary McDonald piece. It stands well on its own. And Joseph Martin is a contemporary composer, very, very gifted. Like I said before, church music is so rich, so rich. Ed Williams is here, and I can remember Mom sending me a tape that they made of the choir, and I said, now we've got to sing this. They're singing this in Laurinburg. It's a beautiful piece. Let's do it. And so we bought every piece that was on that recording, and it's just amazing. We have. I grew up in a small town, Laurinburg, and just the amazing musicians, Ed one of them, that just made growing up here a wonderful, wonderful adventure. So, Ed, I thank you for that. Just amazing, amazing. I remember the Petite wedding in, what was it, 85, and the Lord's Prayer in D flat. I thought Ed was going to crack the windows. Boy, so nice. Miss Petite, oh, that was so great. So, yes, wonderful time. Hope you enjoy this. When I was growing up, that's what, if you went to the local Baptist churches, that's what Marilyn says. Ron, you've got to be a Baptist pianist today. That means that you've got to play with full tone and don't hold back. And it's really interesting. Usually she's like just directing, but there'll be occasion when she's like, like that. And even on the organ, I'm like, the stops have been set, stop. But no, I always think about the basses. The basses love to hear the music. On the piano, since it's a percussion instrument, they hear more easily. So I make sure that their parts, my part, are played clearly. And she doesn't always agree, but it comes out okay, and then I'm out of hot water. When I was hired, the parish committee said, now Marilyn will probably not compliment you very often. I said, that's okay, I don't play for compliments, but I will say this. She thanks me in her heart. And the days that she does say something, I think she just decides that with all the idiosyncrasies that I bring, all the baggage that I bring, because I'm a little bit on the picky side and I have opinions about music, she tolerates them, and that's a good thing. Like I say, I'm very fortunate. It's amazing. I don't have to do anything but what I love to do, and everything falls into place. Okay, that's the grace I have every day, and I remember that. The bad days, of course, they're going to be there, but they don't last. They don't last. Now, this last piece that I will close with, interestingly, 3 weeks ago, several members of the choir were good friends with a lady named Nola Bray. I did not know Nola. I joined the church maybe a year and a half before she left. During the COVID, she and her husband moved to West Texas, and they set up there. But Nola was a force in the church and had many, many wonderful friends, and fought cancer for many years. And when she passed away, her family said, I have a request. Dr. Fairfax, who is our minister, she sent a text and said, can you play Bridge Over Troubled Water? I said, ma'am, I don't play that piece. I said, but we got the internet, and that's fine. I said, sure, we'll do what we have to do. I mean, that's what a church musician does. It's not that you work all this great music and play the greatest classical music on the organ. It's what counts when someone needs a piece of music. And so I found on the internet the original Paul Simon reduction for free. So I said, God works in mysterious ways, because when I talked to my mom, I said, I will include this in the repertoire for the concert, and I will close with this. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother and sister and I grew up listening to records. The record, Bridge Over Troubled Water, Paul Simon, Garfunkel, we wore out. It was warped. Even before Austin could get to the records and throw them down Gammy stairs at East Church Street, that record was history. I think I went to sleep listening to this song. It's amazing. This spoke to me more at the service, and members of the family came up and said, thank you. My mom always says, Ron, did they take care of you at the church? I said, Mom, the things that happen at the church are the gift that I get. And when you can help someone make a transition and give them some solace, that's worth something. I know not everybody loves music. It doesn't speak to everyone. You can't be put out by that. Ed, you've got to write a thick skin because you think, oh, that was glorious, and everybody's like, well, what were you doing? You play an alternate hymn harmonization on the organ, and everybody stops singing. It's like, don't do that, So I hope you enjoy this, and I enjoyed, again, in 2 days I learned this, but it's in the original key, E flat. And Paul Simon, genius, wrote some of the most beautiful melodies. It's like Lennon and McCartney. Even if you don't like the Beatles, I love the Beatles. We have so much music, so much music. We are so incredibly blessed with music. So, Bridge Over Troubled Water. like I say, next year we'll do Moon River. We'll do maybe some Henry Mancini, and add maybe some more romantic and, of course, some more Baroque and all like that. But I thank you. My brother said, how long is it going to last? And I little white lie there. I said, 45 minutes. No, I appreciate you allowing me to give the commentary. It does allow me to express how I'm feeling about the music. And so I'm grateful. When I got here, Mom said the date had changed, so that gave me a little bit more time to come up with a program and do some practicing. And you have a marvelous, marvelous instrument here. It's a Boston, but it's designed by Steinway, so it could just have Steinway slapped on it. That would be fine. There's the improvement in technology that we've seen has made it for the production of even better pianos. I mean, they're still handmade, but the precision that you can get with technology. I mean, this thing. I mean, if you need to barricade yourself, get behind this. You're in good shape, okay? I mean, moving this piano over, I'm thinking, my goodness, I'm glad I do exercise a little bit. But I want to thank you for coming today, and I want to thank my dear sweet mom that makes this possible. I am truly the luckiest person in the world to have such a caring, loving, smart, intelligent mom. We didn't always agree. But now what Mom says goes, and you don't even question. But Happy New Year, everyone, and thank you so much for coming. Thank you.